Okay, so our goal is to identify leaders, recruit supporters, build relationships, and move people to action. Great. Now, how do we make that happen? What makes a successful house meeting? Timing, attendance, vision, connection, and action. Just so you know, for the rest of this video, I'll be addressing you as the organizer who is recruiting and working with house meeting hosts. But this is also relevant for you even if you are hosting the house meeting yourself. The first thing to consider is timing. House meetings are most useful in the early months of most campaigns, especially in an electoral context, before it's time to talk to thousands of voters in the final months before an election. Investing in a house meeting program early enables a campaign to build the army of volunteers it needs to knock the doors, send the texts, and make the calls required to persuade and turn out voters in the final stretch. Now, for a house meeting to be a success, you need people to show up. This is a good test of a house meeting host's organizing potential. Did they say they'd have 20 people in their living room, and did 20 people actually show up? Your average house meeting is somewhere between 5 and 25 people. But be sure to set attendance goals with your house meeting host. And if 25 people sounds like a lot, ask your host to pull out their phone and go through their contacts. Their network is probably larger than they think. Work with your host to draft an invite list, send a well-crafted email, and promote their event on social media. Facebook events are a great way to get the word out, as long as they're paired with personal nudges by phone or email. Some hosts may be open to inviting people beyond their own network, and if that's the case, you might provide them with a list of supporters in their neighborhood. And remind your host to follow up with a confirmation text message the night before or day of. Confirming your attendees is critical if you want people to show up. The second thing you need is for people to clearly see themselves in the vision of the campaign. And when I say that, I don't mean that they need to become experts in a candidate or organization's policy platform, though understanding that is helpful. By the time guests leave, they should feel connected to the values of your campaign, and they should also understand how the specific actions you are asking them to take fit into the overall strategy to win and bring the campaign's vision to life. So people have showed up, and you've shared a bit about the vision of your candidate and the strategy to win. Good start. Now you need to make a personal connection. There is a mantra in the organizing world that has been adapted all over the place. Come for the cause, stay for the relationships. People will show up to the meeting because they're interested in learning more about your candidate or your cause. That gets them in the door. But they will stick around, sign up to volunteer, and come back a second and third time because of the personal relationships they build along the way. Take this lens to everything you do. It's critical that the space is set up to invite conversation and that you share your personal story, that you create opportunities for people to get to know each other, and that you draw connections between your shared values and shared experiences. This is how we build the fabric of a community, and it requires lots of asking questions and listening with purpose. Finally, the ultimate measure of a successful house meeting is whether you can move people to action. Don't meet just to meet. After people show up, understand the vision, and authentically connect with one another, it's time to make your ask. What specific actions can guests sign up to take this week to help the campaign meet its goals? And why should they take that action now instead of next week or next month? This is the time to get out the clipboard with the sign-up sheets, instill a sense of urgency, and be specific about the opportunity to get involved. Organizers call this the hard ask. Be sure to cover your 5 W's: who, what, when, where, and why. For example, I might ask guests to join me for a voter registration drive next Saturday at 2 p.m. in front of the library. We need to register 5,000 new voters to meet our win number, and we're halfway there. Or I might ask them to come out to knock on doors next Sunday at 10 a.m. We need to talk to 900 voters this week, and we've got 18 people signed up for this weekend, but we need 6 more to stay on track to meeting our goal. Whatever the ask, it's important to be clear and direct and explain how this ties into your campaign's strategy. Get a commitment for a specific action at a specific time and place. For an example of how we take these components and turn them into an excellent house meeting agenda, check out the next video.